The Roman snail is your ally in the fight against slugs. Few people know this. Therefore, never get rid of these snails. If you have more and more slugs in your garden, you might be making this mistake too. When you have a slug infestation in your garden, you've probably tried to stop them with eggshells or coffee grounds. Others set traps for them. Because of the slug infestation, many people also get rid of snails with shells. The Roman snail does damage in the garden, but not as much as slugs do. And few people know that the Roman snail is your ally in the fight against slugs. How so? The Roman snail eats the eggs of slugs. So if you eliminate snails with shells, the number of slugs will immediately increase because their eggs are no longer threatened. You have to collect and destroy adult slugs yourself, for example, by sprinkling them with salt. But the Roman snail will take care of eliminating their eggs and reducing their population. If you want to know the natural enemy of adult slugs, many people have started keeping Indian runner ducks in their gardens. During a single meal, they can eat dozens of adult slugs. They are the best weapon in the fight against slugs, aside from the Roman snail. Place it in the garden, and you'll catch all the slugs in one night. If you have slugs in your garden that are eating everything growing there, try this trick. I struggled with slugs in my garden for several years, but after trying this trick, they disappeared immediately, in one night. Performing this trick will only take you a few minutes, so you must try it to see how brilliant it is. First, prepare a small drink bottle, a marker, and a utility knife. Now do exactly what I do. Cut off the top of the small bottle as we won't need it. Draw 3 cut marks on the bottle and cut along them with the utility knife. Don't make the cuts too big. Only slugs without shells should be able to enter the trap through them. Bend the cut parts of the bottle upwards. This is a very important step to ensure everything works as it should. Now take a second larger bottle and cut off its top. We will need it later. Pour some beer into the small bottle. Slugs love the smell, so they will definitely get caught in the trap. It is important to bend the bottle parts the same way I did so that the beer smell can escape. Now, just cover our small bottle with the secret ingredient using the top of the larger bottle. Try it yourself, and you won't regret it. Are you tired of snails destroying your plants? Are you looking for a natural way to get rid of them? Here's a simple recipe for a mixture that will effectively deter snails from your garden. First, prepare a pitcher. Pour half a liter of warm water into it. Then add half a teaspoon of black pepper. Its strong smell and taste discourage snails. The next ingredient is half a teaspoon of garlic. Snails can't stand its smell, and it also has antibacterial properties that protect plants. The final ingredient is 1 tablespoon of ground coffee. The caffeine in coffee is toxic to snails, so they avoid it. Now, mix all the ingredients thoroughly. Let the mixture cool down. Once the mixture is cold, you need to dilute it. Add 500 milliliters of water to 100 milliliters of the mixture and stir. Now you can water or spray your plants with it. Use the mixture regularly to keep snails at bay. Remember to spray your plants after it rains. The mixture also works on other pests. Thanks to this, your garden will be free from unwanted guests. If you have snails in your garden, you can get rid of them. Spray this all over the garden, and the snails will disappear. This natural mixture will repel these pests. Additionally, it eliminates aphids, caterpillars, and deters ants. If you have a garden, you are surely familiar with these pests. Snails can destroy crops as they enjoy cultivated vegetables and fruits. You probably know that you can protect your crops with methods like using ash. Sprinkling ash around plants creates a barrier that stops snails. Another method is using eggshells. A sufficient layer of eggshells spread in the garden will also deter these pests, though you need a lot of them. Remember that coffee grounds can also be used in the garden like ash and eggshells. But today, I will show you a mixture made from them. Add 1 tablespoon of ground coffee or coffee grounds to 300 milliliters of warm water. Caffeine repels snails and other pests. Next, add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Garlic is rich in sulfur and allicin, which snails and many other pests dislike. Finally, add 1 tablespoon of mint, either fresh or dried. The essential oils in mint are excellent for repelling ants and snails. Mix everything and leave it for a few hours. Then strain it through gauze or a coffee filter. Dilute with about 3 liters of water. Use this mixture to spray the borders of the garden, paths, plants, and vegetables. Use it regularly, and you'll see that snails won't be as eager to visit your garden.
These are effective tricks used by gardeners against aphids. These natural methods will protect your plants from this pest. Dealing with these parasites in the garden is not an easy task. If you don't want to use strong chemical treatments, these methods will certainly come in handy. Aphids are one of the largest and most diverse groups of insects that pose a threat to our plants. These bugs can be found on various plants, both in ornamental gardens and in vegetable and fruit gardens, as well as on balcony and indoor flowers. They can devastate a garden, and it takes them a surprisingly short amount of time to spread to neighboring plants. Gardeners tie yellow ribbons on plants. Once you know the reason, you will start doing it yourself. It turns out that a simple ribbon can replace expensive and chemical sprays. Cut a yellow ribbon into 10-centimeter pieces. Attention, it is very important for the ribbon to have an intense yellow color. Then, tie it with a knot on the plants that have been attacked by aphids. Tie it at the top of the stem. The yellow color is meant to attract ladybugs, which are natural enemies of aphids. 1 ladybug can eat up to 50 aphids in a day. The yellow ribbons attract them to the plants that have been attacked by pests. It is important to remember not to use chemical sprays during this time, as they can harm and deter ladybugs. Another trick is a natural spray. Simply mix 2 inexpensive ingredients with water to create a repellent mixture. Its preparation takes a few seconds, and it works just as effectively as store-bought sprays for aphids. Pour warm water into a spray bottle. Then, add a teaspoon of baking soda. Add a little sunflower oil or dishwashing liquid. Mix everything together, and it's ready. This natural spray should be applied to plants every 3 days. Thoroughly cover the stems and leaves with it. This mixture effectively deters aphids from settling on the plant. It's important to remember that the proportions are crucial. If we add too much baking soda, we can damage the plants and achieve the opposite effect. The second recipe for a spray is equally effective, and it only requires 1 ingredient. Pour vinegar into a bottle of water in a ratio of 1 to 10. It cannot be used indiscriminately, as it can harm not only the pests, but also the plants. Spray the infected plants with this natural spray. Vinegar works great in direct contact with aphids, so precision is needed. Spray the undersides of the leaves as well, where aphids often feed. Do not use vinegar spray when the sun is shining on the plants, as it can cause them to burn. Also, do not use vinegar spray on young plants, flower buds, or flowers themselves. The third aphid spray is also extremely easy to make. Dilute skim milk with water in a 1-to-1 ratio and immediately spray the pests with it. Milk repels aphids, and at the same time attracts beneficial insects that feed on aphids. It also prevents fungal diseases while nourishing the plant. It is a source of calcium and sugar, which are essential for plant growth. The excess milk that flows into the soil will serve as an additional fertilizer. Furthermore, such a milk spray does not harm the plant. It can be used without worry once a week, preferably in the morning, and it is inexpensive to make. What do you think about these methods for aphids? If you know another effective method, be sure to share it in the comments below the video.